New vehicles suck.
Man, they're making these newer vehicles so hard to work on.
New cars are so unreliable.
You know what sucks? Things keep getting more expensive, but they keep getting more cheaply made. Like I can understand if my vehicle is going to be top notch, okay, maybe raise the price a little bit, but you're raising the price and everything's plastic, everything breaks down 10 minutes after driving the vehicle off the lot. We're getting into these modern vehicles that are terrible. Mechanics saying they're difficult to work on because they want you to go to the dealership. We're going to get into all that today. Y'all sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Don't realize that new cars have way more problems than old cars do. And what we've seen is, my personal experience is, I have a car that I've had for almost 2 years now, brand new 2022 Yukon Denali. Engine failed, it's been in the shop, and guess what? The engine's been on back order for well over 45 days now. So clearly it's a known problem. My point is that you cannot guess or determine that just because something is new, that it's not going to have recalls, failures, or challenges throughout the process of you owning it. My best recommendation is to be able to subsidize these fixes moving forward by protecting yourself and building it into your budget up front, that you're going to have a cost of ownership involved with fixes and repairs across the board. So just because it's new doesn't mean it's going to be more trustworthy or reliable.
New vehicles suck, and there's no ad go buy one. It's to the point where used Tacomas are selling for more than brand new ones. That's how bad it's gotten. And I have an insider's perspective because I'm a mechanical engineer who has just worked in the automotive industry, and I've seen it just go downhill. Most of it has to do with the lack of practical engineering and now a huge focus on analytical as well as software, just ruining everything. So one software company controls basically everything. It's really expensive to get a seat to design things, and their software sucks. Simulation is pretty horrible, and that's how everything's designed. We don't test vehicles as long as we used to in the real world. That's now the customer's job. A lot of principles backed by analytics like thermal press fits make their way into real world designs like timing gears being pressed onto crankshafts. It's crazy. New engines starting to knock after a few thousand miles. Multi-speed transmissions failing rather quickly. There's like no practical knowledge left anymore. Electrically, modern cars are scary. There's a computer for everything, like your power seats. There's dozens and dozens of them in a vehicle, and they're all connected via CAN bus, which is super touchy to physical damage, noise, external interference. I think in terms of durability, vehicles peaked in the late 90s.
Man, they're making
See, it's a damn shame, y'all. It's a damn shame. Like I saw a commercial yesterday of the Dodge Ram. Not even Dodges no more. They're just Rams. They took Dodge out, right? It's just a Ram, and you can tell the whole commercial was AI. Like they're not even showing you the real vehicle no more. They're showing you AI, right? They're showing you AI, and like I said, I could understand maybe if the vehicle was just better, it ran better, you're never gonna have problems, but no, we're gonna see. We got a mechanic right now, one of my favorite mobile mechanics who has his own shop now. I love watching his content on YouTube, but we're gonna see that they're just making vehicles difficult to work on, that these regular technicians, they can do it, but they're going to charge you an arm and a leg because we got to take we got to take this computer, this computer, this computer just to change the brakes, right? That which used to be a basic, maybe an hour job to change your brakes are turning into 3 or 4 hours because they want you to go to that dealership, y'all. Corporate greed is out of control.
vehicles so hard to work on. Everything needs expensive scan tools. They just don't want you to fix them yourself. On these newer Chevys, just a whole lot of money. Nothing but plastic heater hoses, electronic brakes. I mean, it's just money to be made here. So we're working on this 2021 Chevy Suburban. I mean, this thing's a beast. That aside, had the brake light on the dash. I checked the front. I'm checking the rears. Pads look fantastic. It might have just been a reminder, like a factory specified, hey, it's time to check your brakes. And that's what we're doing. We're checking them. They look good. Definitely wouldn't change these. They got too much life on them. Maybe in another 20,000 miles, but 30,000 miles. I once had a customer tell me he went ahead and replaced his front brakes on his Chevy Suburban, newer body style. Once he got finished with the brakes, he thought it was as simple as pumping up the pedal and getting on the road. Little did he know the dash was lit up like a Christmas tree. He had to take it into the dealership for them to clear it. It cost him $250.
See, that's what's sad. That's what's sad is like this guy's a honest mechanic, right? He probably didn't even charge, maybe just charged him a fee because I came out here, like a $50 fee, right? Instead, he could have changed the brakes, even though they didn't need to be changed, and charged them, $300-400, whatever the price he charges for brakes, right? but he didn't. But if you went to the dealership because your brake light came on, they're going to change your brakes. They're going to do all these things, even though they didn't need to. He said they didn't even need to be on, but these sensors go off. So the normal person will go to the dealership, take their vehicle to the dealership, and that the number one money maker in a dealership, it isn't financing, it isn't on the sales floor, it's in the mechanic spot, y'all. That's where they make their money. So they want you to go in. So they probably set all these sensors to go off 20,000 miles, like you said, before you even need brakes. Because by the time you change your brakes twice, you really only needed one. So they get you for two for the price of one.
It's important to have one of these scan tools. You can reset all the lights, and it even gives you the vehicle manufacturer procedure for resetting the brake system. And as you can see, everything checks out. It is good to go. No lights on the dash. Not every job is a winner. This one didn't need anything, and that's perfectly fine. It is approaching the age at which it needs a tune-up and possible fluid services. So I'm going to check the vehicle manufacturer recommendations later today and let the customer know. We'll catch them on the next one.
See, but that's what I don't understand about people that do business. Like, there's even mechanics that aren't honest. Like, okay, you ripped me off for $300, but guess what? I'm never going to do business with you again. So you ruined the possibility to make, 10, 20,000 off me in the next 10, 15 years because I'm going to always use you. When you find a mechanic that is good and you like them, you're going to them for life. But if you screw me, you're going to get this measly $300 and I'm never going to refer you to no one because you're going to make 10,000 off me, but you might make, 50,000 off the five people that say, hey, this guy's good. He comes to your house. He does a good job. He's cheaper than a dealership. Nah, you know any mechanic who did that work on your car? Oh, don't go with that guy. He screwed me. Right. I don't understand these people that do business like that, but they do. They do business like people do business like that. Rip people off for the quick $300 where I just don't understand it, y'all. But that's some people's mindset. That's some people's mindset that gets into business. They screw you over. You don't need a break. Guess what? That person that with that Suburban that went with that Ty the car guy, whatever, the mobile mechanic, they're always gonna work with them because he was honest. This guy came here, did my brakes, and he told me, hey, you don't need brakes. Hey, I appreciate your honesty. Next time, he's gonna refer you to everybody. That guy, that the owner of the vehicle is gonna refer you to anybody, and he's always gonna be a lifelong customer for you because you were honest. I don't understand people that do bad business, y'all. I really don't.
So I got a new car 3 weeks ago, exactly to the day. And when I turned it on today, I was greeted with a little surprise. I'll give you a second to take a little guess on what that was. If you guessed the check
Thought my
engine
boy was
light, you
crying.
were correct. Ding, ding, ding. It is the check engine light. Now, I'm so
Teslas even
excited
have
about that.
engines?
Already made my appointment at the dealership, so hopefully that can be taken care of quickly.
See, that's her number one problem. She's going to the dealership. Like, okay, if you're going to the dealership, it's a check engine light, right? At least go to AutoZone. What is it? O'Reilly's now. One of those places where they do a test for you for free and tell you what that sensor is or whatever, what's wrong with it, or give you a ballpark of what's wrong with it. Go online, do your research. Okay, this is what's wrong with it. Google, Chat GPT. How much does it cost for it? I think that's a test. A 2024 Tesla Model S, whatever, Model Y. How much does it cost to fix this? Okay, this is the ballpark. Then take it to the dealership, right? If you go in there blind, my check engine light came on, you don't know what's wrong with it, you don't know how much the ballpark is going to cost. Oh, they're going to screw you over. It might be something simple like resetting the battery to turn it off. It might be something simple like tightening your fuel cap. You got it a little loose. It's a Tesla or whatever. Maybe their plug-in to charge their vehicle is open. It's not closed all the way. It might be something simple like that. But you take us to the dealership and you're blind, whew, they're gonna tell you you need a brand new battery. You know what I mean? So at least if you're gonna go to the dealership, do some research, right? Get your car scanned. It's free at AutoZone, O'Reilly's, everywhere that sells auto parts. It's free, and then do a little research. Ask ChatGPT, how much does this cost roughly, ballpark wise for this to fix? And that way you go in there not blind. Go in there like you know a little bit. Hey, my engine light came on. I went to Checkers or O'Reilly's and they tested it. It said this was wrong. And then they're going to be like, okay, she did a little research. I'm not going to screw her over because we're not going to get one over on her.
Not only is my check engine light on my car on, but also I'm pretty sure my check engine light for my body has come on. I went and got my blood work done today, so hopefully we can get some answers as to why I feel like I am 95 years old. Just so tired all the time. So, oh, and I'm forgetful, so basically can't remember anything. So life's going really well. I cannot be the only one. So, let me know if anybody else's check engine light has come on their body too.
New cars are so unreliable. This Toyota already has 10,000 miles on it. And guess what? It's already broken. Look at that. It's out of windshield washer fluid. Tell me why that notification, right, tells you to call the dealership, hit details, or dismiss. It's out of windshield washer fluid. That's the only warning light on the dash. Why do I need to call the dealership? Because I need $4 worth of windshield washer fluid in this car.
That's what they want.
They're just building these new cars to last you a couple years. Get them right outside of warranty. I mean, look at that. They're putting 0W8 motor oil in. This is a CVT transmission. Nothing about this Toyota is built to last anymore. You can say, why then buy something new? Let me show you what happens when you buy used. But it's all rusted out.
Jeez.
That's the one downside to living up north. If you
Oh.
don't take care of your car like the previous two owners did, no fluid film, no cavity wax, this stuff just rusts out. There's literally no rockers on the driver's side. The back quarter panel's rusted out. The side of the truck looks like it was used in the demolition derby. And the passenger side is just as rusted out as the driver's side. But one of the advantages of buying new is that you know how it's taken care of. You can do the cavity wax, the fluid film, and you can keep it from rusting out yourself. But now the new powertrains mean we don't have to worry about trucks rusting out anymore.
See, one thing I learned with my 2007 Toyota 4Runner I bought, next time I go buy a used car like that, he kind of got me, right? I needed new tires. I didn't know my car when I drove it, it was fine, but a couple days later it was shaking, right? I needed new tires. I needed a brake job. I needed shocks and struts, right? And that all goes into negotiation. But next time I go, I got a mobile mechanic. He's my guy, right? I found him on Facebook, good reviews, got a good relationship with him. So he comes to my place and I told him, hey, if I ever buy, hey, next time I charge an $80 fee, right? We can go check out three or four vehicles you want. Take me with you, or I'll meet you there, and I'll tell you if it needs this, if it needs that. So if you're gonna buy a used vehicle, I highly suggest there's mobile mechanics in everyone's neighborhood. Just call them. Hey man, I'm about to buy a new vehicle. Is there any way? Do you have a fee? You know that you can. $80 might sound like a lot, but to this vehicle, I had to put in probably $1,000 for all those to get done, right? But it was still cheaper than going to a dealership because you're going to pay $1,000 in taxes alone. You know what I mean? So, but that's something I would suggest if you're going to go buy a used vehicle, because there's tons of used vehicles out there. Y'all, I got a Toyota 4Runner, runs like a charm now, right? Now I want to start upgrading it and doing my own thing with it because it's going to last forever. It's got 150,000 miles. I take care of it, change the oil every 3,000 miles. It's going to last me another 100,000 miles. And hopefully by then, my financial situation, maybe I can go buy a vehicle, cash or whatever, because I don't do the car payment thing, y'all. Learn my lesson over there. We'll be getting into car payments soon over here. But that's what I suggest, y'all. You guys get you a mobile mechanic. They're everywhere. You can find them on Facebook. Take them with you to go buy a used vehicle, and he's going to tell you, hey, your car needs tires, it needs shocks, struts, it needs brakes, right? I'll look under the hood. Everything looks good. That's all negotiable. You got a mechanic right there that's going to tell him, hey, this is what he needs. I'm going to head out. You guys do what you want to do. I'll meet you at the next one. If you don't want this one, let me know. You guys do and that's how you do it, y'all.
Ready?
31
Not even 600
miles.
miles.
All right, so there's a nationwide shortage of technicians, automotive technicians, no matter what brand it is. People just don't want to do this anymore. And I'm going to show you right now why there's a nationwide shortage of automotive technicians, especially at the dealership level. Let me show you exactly why. So this right here is the labor time for removing an HVAC assembly, the heater box inside the vehicle. We have an evaporator leak and the AC doesn't work. And this is the labor time from, I believe, All Data. I don't know if this thing will ever focus. Right there, All Data pays 13.5 hours. See that? 13.5 hours labor to remove the HVAC assembly. Why don't this thing want to focus? And then this is the warranty labor time from Nissan. 4.8. They want me to do that HVAC assembly for 4.8 hours when all data is saying that it takes like 3 times as much as the warranty time, 13.5. So many of you may not know how technicians get paid. We get paid by the job. If a job pays 2 hours, then we'll get 2 hours no matter how long it takes us to complete that job. Our hourly rate may be $40 an hour. We may get paid $40 an hour, $50 an hour, and we'll only get 2 hours worth of that time to do that job. If it takes us 3 hours, then we'll still get 2 hours for that.
Damn, I didn't know that.
This is exactly the reason why nobody wants to do this anymore.
Damn, bro, this shit is crazy. I just got to check engine light on the wide body Charger. I just picked this joint up today, and I went to go ahead and do a remote start, and then tell me why I just completely shut off. So I'm like, what the fuck? I walk into the car, check engine light was on. So I went ahead and grabbed my scanner right here, scanned it, and had a code for like a P0826 for a fuel pump. So luckily I bought this online. So what Manheim does, if you buy online, they kind of give you something like a warranty. You get 150 miles and 10 days, and you can arbitrate the vehicle to get your money back, which is absolutely insane. So I went ahead and put an arbitration in. Manheim's going to send somebody out here to inspect the vehicle, and then I should hopefully be able to get my money back. But I'll put the code right here. As you can see, that was the code. But like I said, this car only has 2,900 miles on it. And I got to check engine light. It's probably a faulty wire or something like that, something small. But
Doesn't
regardless,
matter.
it's not something I want to deal with. If I can get money off or return the vehicle, I'll probably go ahead and return it.
See, these vehicles are $100,000, y'all. $100,000 for that Hellcat. There should be no faulty wires. There should be none of that. You know that sales or that mechanic they're sending over is going to say, "Oh, it's just a little thing, y'all. Just do this, take it to your mechanic. You'll $100 part. That's it, right?" And he's probably going to do it because he loves the car. They know you love the car. That's why you bought the car. You don't want to get rid of it. So he's going to tell you something. Oh, it's just cheap. All right, man, I'll take it. You take it, man. It's a fuel pump. It's going to cost $2,000. 10 days is up. They ain't gonna pick up that phone call when you call now.
Are bad now when Toyota and Honda can't even build a reliable car. And that's the whole problem. All these new cars, all this new stuff, the hybrid systems, all fully electric cars, that's not going to be easy to repair. I've always joked the new electric cars are going to basically require you to have almost like an engineering degree. You're going to have to be, or a computer science degree, because you're going to be doing so much more computer diagnostic, and that's just going to be insane because they're not paying the techs now, let alone someone with a computer science degree that works in software. I mean, if you work in software, you're making $100K minimum, let alone doing the difficulties of actually like trying to diagnose a car. Could you imagine what they would have to get paid? So it'd be very entertaining to see. But the problem, again, if Toyota and Honda can't build reliable cars right now, look at the Tundra, look at the Tacoma issues. It's going to be kind of scary. I mean, this thing has 265,000 miles on it. And if I hold this down, you'll see it has almost 10,000 hours on the engine. Yep, 9,700.
I didn't know you could do that.
14 hours on the engine. So they're just not built like this anymore, and it sucks. Like you said, they're complete garbage, and it's just sad.
All of these little GM cars with the Ecotech engines, they have an abortion of cooling system. They always leak. It doesn't matter how many parts you replace, the new parts leak 10, 20, 30,000 miles down the road, unless it's an OEM replacement, and then it might last 40, 50, 60. And then, every single time you're trying to pop off one of these hard plastic cooling lines that have a stupid-ass pop-in fitting, just snaps off. Well,
There's a reason
now
why
we're
they
getting
do.
to the point where some of these lines are back ordered. So what are you going to do? Exhibit A. This pops into the water outlet, and it just pops in to that metal. So we're
Plastic
just going
to
to sit
metal.
here and act like hard plastic lines aren't going to get brittle and deteriorate when coolant's running through them nonstop? Come on, dude. This is such piss poor quality, it's ridiculous. But anyways, had to replace this, and this probably isn't even 6 months old. Moto Rad. These plugs down here, they leak every single time on this replacement part. So we switched over to a different brand, Murray. Anyways, as you can see, I've already had this plug out once, replaced the O-ring on it, and covered it with RTV and popped it back in there. This time when I took it off, well, what's that? Oh, a big old chunk of metal missing? Wonder where that is. Oh, and don't come at me with you installed it improperly, blah, blah, blah. 89 inch-pounds. It's easy. But, yeah, so that's a month out, that line. So what I had to do was take a piece of brake line, trim the hard plastic line, shove the brake line inside of it, and then take hose and slip it over and clamp it in place. Cars are not quality anymore. It's quantity over quality, and it's fucking piss poor.
And people are still buying these cars left and right, y'all. People are still lined up at the dealership. With all this knowledge out there, we'll still go drop 80, 90, 100, 60, 70, $1,000, $100,000 on a vehicle just because of the name on the vehicle. And it's terrible, terrible quality. Terrible quality. And they're just going to keep doing it. You keep buying them, they're going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and the price is going to go higher and higher and higher because somewhere, somehow, these companies got obsessed with profit. Now, I know that's the whole point of everything, but now it's just overboard. Now it's just overboard now.
What's bad about cars made in the last 25 years? And please be very specific.
Oh, I will. The first problem with new cars is you lose money hand over fist to depreciation.
Yes.
And then if you have to take out a loan for it, you're also paying interest on that.
Yes.
And one of the fastest ways I see normal people in general lose money is on new cars.
Yeah.
And they do it because they're afraid they can't work on or service it.
That's exactly
That's
right.
basically the only real difference.
Exactly right.
But then you get dealerships that just find new ways to not do their warranty work because that's where they make a lot of money. And that's a separate thing. So a new car, I mean, that's nice if you can afford it, but rather than buying a new $100,000 truck or SUV, I'd rather buy this nice used one for, I don't know, 15 or 20 and spend the rest of the money. I'll go, you know, if you got it, go buy a vintage Ferrari or a muscle car, something cool, you know, at least keep your money and have some fun. But it's more than that. Cars, I would say in the last 20 to 25 years, the evolution is not for the sake of the car and the person and so much of the experience. It's more for the sake of the nature of dealing with regulation and keeping a profit margin and building it. And when you do that, you make things that are inherently more prone to failing in the future and less service. And that's not good for ownership or an actual lifespan.
It's funny to me as cars get newer and the technology gets newer, I think they're actually going to get worse. This Mach-E does not have a door handle. This is a door handle, right? You pull on it, the door opens. This has a push button. Door opens.
That's not good.
I have one problem with that. It snowed a little bit last night, probably 1 or 2 inches. So my avalanche is here outside, right? So the Mach-E would have a push button somewhere around here. You're going to have to find the push button, right? Instead of just pulling the door open, right? Wow, that actually worked. Well, the push button would be somewhere around there. I guess if you own an EV, you should just park it in a garage. If you don't have a garage, don't own an EV. Because this is a push. That latch has to disengage. So what happens when it's iced over? You're not going to be able to just pull the door open, right? It's not going to be a simple process like that. This is a grab handle. So this is only going to work after the door has unlatched. If that mechanism gets frozen in there, you can't tug it open. There's no mechanical release to open that hint. Like, this is not going to get mechanically released from the outside like this is, right? You pull this unlatch button. This button is undoing that latch in there. Just wild to me.
Now think about how much that door handle is going to cost if it doesn't work, right? My door handle on my 4Runner, y'all, I opened it and it popped off. It broke. You know how much a new handle cost? $10. $10 on eBay, right? It was here in a couple days. $10. Can you imagine how much that door handle is going to cost? $500. It's a whole new computer you got to put in there. Whole new motor, computer, everything probably. My door handle, $10. But anyways, y'all, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode over here, y'all. If you made it over here, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, y'all. I love doing this type of content over here. We're gonna be doing a bunch of different topics over here, y'all. If you guys got some topics you want me to talk about, leave them down below. We'll try to get into them. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here, get these videos edited, go spend some time with my family, y'all. This is Segovia. I'm out of the man cave. I'll see you guys next time. Later.